All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Makar Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect to the nation of Israel. This is going to be a quick video, man, about how the sins and the wickedness of women is now starting to be shown to the world, man. And this is a video here that I've seen, and then it's a video of a woman that was attacking her boyfriend, and people called the police on her, man. And then let me just quickly jump to a bit of this. I don't know if it's gonna get disclaimed or whatever, but let me show this. She ends up getting slapped in the handcuffs, man. Right, and let me skip forward a bit. She ends up going wild as hell in the police car and all of that, right? She ends up going wild as hell in the police car. Let me see if I can show some of it, man. Let me see if I can show some of this. She ends up getting put in the back of the police car, but then I went on this channel and then I went to the videos, and if you look at the titles of these videos, it's going into things that women are doing, man. Woman runs from police after abusing boyfriend. So these women are getting exposed for the violence and the wickedness that they do, man. Whereas in times past, the women would do the wickedness and then get their man arrested. Right now, in this first one that I showed you, which is the second video, which is titled Boyfriend Beater is Convinced That Laws Don't Apply to Her. She confessed that it was her, and the cop was still kind of somewhat doubting that she did anything wrong until she confessed, man. Even though they had heard from witnesses, right? But the point is that these women are getting jacked up now for the wickedness that they do, man. And that goes into Isaiah 32. Rise up, you, Isaiah 32 and 9. Rise up, you women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters, right? It goes into that future prophecy that's going to take place, man, where these women are going to start getting judged, and that prophecy really is taking place right now. Because for the longest time, like men have started to talk about what women's wickedness is, man. About how women are out here committing a whole bunch of adultery, about how women have got a lot of hypocrisy, about how women have got a problem with what men's appearance looks like. But then when you look at their appearance, you find out that their appearance don't match. About how women are trying to complain and say that men are out here cheating on women. But then when you look at these women's body counts, it's through the roof, and the average woman's body count is higher than the average man's body count. So who's really committing the adultery out here? Who's really doing it? And then when you understand the Bible, you understand that adultery is when a man sleeps with another man's wife. It's not when a man sleeps with two women, if both women were single. It's not that. Let me go down a bit more. It says, angry woman arrested for burning down boyfriend's house. So these women are starting to get judged, man. Right, here's another one that looks like a fat woman there, called the most challenging arrest ever. Right, so women are starting to get arrested for some of the wickedness that they do, man. Here's another one, I think. The most painful DUI stop ever. Right, let me go down again. Body cam video shows police tackling 60-year-old woman. So these women now start. Here's another one. Why you shouldn't play stupid game with the police. That's a woman getting slapped in them handcuffs, man. Here's another one. Drunk Karen kicks cops after getting arrested. Below that, another one. The behavior that will get you arrested. That's another woman, I believe. I ain't seen the video, but it looks like it's going to be a woman that's getting arrested. They wouldn't be on that side of the car if there wasn't there for her. Right, here's another one. Simple encounter turned into complete chaos. That's another woman again. All right, here's another one. She regretted acting entitled. Women getting judged again. Here's another one below that. Being difficult and endangering child safety. That's a woman again. Below that, right? Stripper caught drunk driving. So women are starting to get jacked up. And here's another one. Lady regrets cat fight with cop, right? Here's another one again. Single mom arrested for drunk driving. So these women are starting to get judged, man. Now, there's still more videos showing men. But the point I'm making is that women are starting to get a little taste of what it's like for some of that equality that they always talk about, man. Here's another one. Grandma thinks it's okay to drunk drive with kid in the car. Below that, another one. Women are convinced that laws don't apply to them. And that's a great title, man. Because there's a whole bunch of women out there that think that they are immune from having to deal with any kind of harshities of life, man. And they don't even realize how many times in a day men have mercy on them, man. They don't understand how many times in a day men are like, you know what, let me allow this woman, man. Let me spare her, man. They don't understand how often that happens to them. because men do not spare men in the same way how men spare women, man. Men give honor onto the weaker vessel several times in their lifetime, man. Every brother out there, if they've even made it to the older than the age of 25, man, they've came across a scenario where they've had to just be like, you know what, I'm going to spare this woman, man. I ain't even going to go upside her head because I already know that that would be a whole bunch of damage that she'll be about to receive. And then that woman might think in her mind that the man's a punk and all of this, but she don't even know that she's been spared. Because sometimes men even spare other men, man. Sometimes, on occasion, men spare men that are weaker than them or whatever, or that they don't want to get into nothing with them. Let's get another one. L, getting arrested for DUI and punching a cop. Right? These women are starting to catch it, man. Here's another one. Lady goes completely nuts after drug bust. Right? Keep going, man. You see? There's enough. There's a good portion of videos. It's probably like maybe 65% videos with men, videos with women, but there's like 35% of them are women, man. Now, what ends up happening probably after these cases is probably still not the same harsh judgment that the women get as what if a man did the same crimes. But the point is that these women are starting to get arrested, man. And when all hell breaks loose, right, these women are not going to be able to handle what's going to be going on, man. Now, give me 1 second and I'm going to go into some scriptures. Salakia, 1 second. All right, I'm back. Now, let me go into some scriptures and I'm going to show why this is happening to these women, man. This is Isaiah chapter 32 and verse 9. Rise up, you women, are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech. Many days and years she be troubled, ye careless women. For the vintage shall fall. Excuse me, for the vintage shall fail. The gathering shall not come. Tremble, ye women, are at ease. Be troubled, ye careless ones. Strip you and make you bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins. And all those women that was getting arrested were careless ones, because men know to not punch a cop. You don't have to tell men to not punch a cop. If a man punches a cop, he's damn near expecting to get punched back or expecting to get messed up, man. But women will have the nerve to assault a police officer and then try and talk about, oh, you think you're a man, you're hitting a woman. Why, when the cops putting them in handcuffs? Because they still got that thing where they don't think that certain rules of the law apply to them, right? They still got this thing within them to where they think that they're immune and exempt from any kind of righteousness, because for the longest time, Esau's allowed all women to get away with a whole bunch of wickedness, man. Especially, I would say, the Israelite woman, man, and his own woman, right? Because when the Israelite woman's acting a damn fool and getting away with wickedness, the person that she's doing most of that wickedness to is the man of her nation. She's been used as a double agent to destroy her own people. She's been used to destroy the men of her nation and to destroy the children of her nation, because she don't end up raising the children right, the male or the female. So then the daughters end up coming out being harlots, and the sons end up coming out being emotional thugs, to where they're basically a woman in a man's body, which don't exist. But I'm saying that the men's emotions end up being the same as how a woman would act, man, if a woman had the strength of a man. And that's what you see with this whole Pookie and Ray Ray type archetype, the street thug type archetype, man. That's basically how a woman would act if she was in a man's body. She'd get emotional, beat people up, be disrespectful as hell, not want to take accountability. They'd have long dreads, you know what I mean? They'd have long hair, they'd have tattoos on their arm sleeves, right? And that's why when you look up the average drill rapper or the average like trap rapper and all of that, right? They look like a stud. You understand? They look like young MA, that young MA type image. They have that same kind of archetype image, man, to where like it looks like some, to a certain degree, a man. I mean, a woman trying to act like I'm trying to dress like a man. That's how some of these new day rappers look, man. They all have these long hair, dyed dreads, and all of that. It looks feminine, to be honest with you. It looks like a feminine person trying to act masculine. It's weird. It's a weird image, man. And that's why when women are trying to think that they're men, they copy that image. Because it's a weird image, man. That men and women are trying to become that weird image. Verse 12, they shall lament for the teach, for the present fields, for the fruitful vine. And that's going into how these women are not they're going to be longing for the times where they could get away with wickedness again. They're going to be desiring those times where they could get away with boxing a man in his mouth, and then the man's got to just deal with it. And then if the man hits them back, they can scream, right? And then some simp's going to fly out the sky like Captain America and subdue whoever's harmed that woman and say you can never put your hands on a female. Never put your hand on a female. That's a female, right? And then the woman can just cry and sail off into the sunset and be like, that was fun. Can't wait for next time. And then do the same thing again. Poking her finger up in a man's face, right? Expecting no harm whatsoever. No matter how big and how terrifying that man might be. He could be 6'5", 300 pounds. She'll do the same thing in that guy's face as she'll do in a man's face that's 5'2" and 110 pounds, man. They don't care. Back in them times. But now, on occasion when they start to do that, they get an attitude adjustment, man. This is 2 Ezra chapter 16 and verse 33. The virgins shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. The women shall mourn, having no husbands. The daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. So there ain't going to be no men out here that are going to be helping you women soon. And why? Verse 34. In the war shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish of famine. So men are going to be starving to death. And that's going to cause for you women to have to deal with what you've done. There's going to be a scarcity of men to where you're going to have to deal with what you did. You ain't going to be able to blame men no more. When this society crashes, you ain't going to be able to just blame men and say, oh, men have acted up. Men are acting up again and they've destroyed. No, you're going to have to deal with what you've done, to what your part of the fall was, man. And you Israelite women are not going to be able to blame the Israelite man anymore. You're going to have to stand on your sins that you committed, man. You ain't going to be able to say, oh, the black community, so-called black community is destroyed because the black man don't want to raise his children and all of this, and try and blame the men that weren't even around the children because you women kicked them out of the house. You ain't going to be able to blame them for why you're catching hell yourself, right? You ain't going to be able to blame them, man. You're just going to be out there, left out to dry, having to deal with your own self and with how disgusting you are. 2 Ezra chapter 15 and verse 14, woe to them that dwell up, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and the destruction draweth nigh. Right, so everyone on the earth better get ready, because there's something coming to the earth that you everyday people are not prepared for, man. And one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. Women ain't built for that kind of life. Women are not built for that lane. No matter how much they've been at the gun range, no matter how much time they've spent, I would think that it's more likely that a man weighing the average size of whatever a man weighs, right, which is around maybe in the UK like 5'9", 13 and a half stone maybe. I think he's got more chance to win in a fight against a trained woman in a lot of cases, man. I don't care what the woman's trained in. I think that man's more likely in a real fight, man, to defeat that woman. Women ain't designed for warfare like that. They run their mouth and they do a lot of talking. But in the grand scheme of things, that's exactly what it is. Just talking, man. And that's why when any fight breaks out anywhere in the world, the main thing that you'll always hear is women screaming because they want it to go back to a comfort that they can handle. One people shall stand up to fight against another with and swords in their hands, for there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. And because people have regarded their kings and princes right now and in times past for like the last couple of years, couple of decades, let's see if we can even say centuries, they've respected the order of what the rulers in charge say, right? That's how women have been able to get away with a lot of wickedness, right? Because men are like, well, it's just the law. It's just the law if my wife commits adultery on me that I have to take the L. And now I have to get kicked out of my house that I was paying for, still pay for it, so that she can move some next guy into the house and I can go back and move in with my parents. They've said it's just the law. Or they've said it's just the law that a woman can make him raise up a child for 18 years and then tell him, and then it turns out that man couldn't even have any children. but he's got 7 children with this woman. And she's not going to admit that they ain't his children. She's like, they are your children. But he knows after doing a test, after years later, that he can't have children. But she still ain't going to confess and admit that she told the truth. But he's like, but it's just the law that I've lost all that money. It's just the law. But there's a whole bunch of men out there that are going to remember this evil that's took place to them. And their anger is going to be aimed at the men that let these women get away with this stuff. And at the women that took advantage that they was able to get away with this wickedness. Verse 17, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. And that also goes into how women are going to desire to go into a city and not be able. For because of their pride, now who has more pride, men or women? I would say women do. Because a woman's glory is her own self. The Bible explains how a woman's glory is her hair. And even really ultimately her appearance, man. Women like to look at themselves in the mirror. They like to go in front of the mirror and test out different makeups, test out different contouring of their face, they damn near restructure their DNA with makeup, man. They can damn near restructure change the whole shape of their skeleton with makeup, man. Damn Jekyll and Hyde out here with the makeup, man. Nice surgical with it, man. Surgical with that makeup, mascara brush. You know what I mean? Can damn near change ethnicities with their makeup. If it was possible to change your nationality for real, these women would be able to change themselves to another nationality using makeup, man. They'd be able to literally change tribes, man. If it was possible to change yourself with makeup, they'd be able to do it with makeup, man. If it was possible to really change your nationality, they'd be able to produce it with makeup, man. That's how great artists these women are when it comes to using makeup, man. They're artists with it, man. But anyway, verse 18, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. And if men are going to be afraid, then so are women, man. And in particular, in this time, it's going to be wicked women that have just been doing a whole bunch of evil, man. That whole city girls, whatever that madness is, man. That whole BBL chasers spirit that's going on in the world. That whole yoga pants, but you ain't ever did no yoga classes in your whole life. Those kind of women, man. That tweezed eyebrows, gel down sides of the head, right? Gel down front of the head, gel down baby hairs, big eyelashes, right? Crop top, sandals, crop top with sandals, spirit, man. That's the spirit that's gonna be getting rebuked out of this world, man. That whole spirit right there, man. That dressed like a stripper type of spirit, man. For because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. So men are going to be scared. They ain't going to be even thinking about what a woman's got to say. They're going to be thinking about self-preservation. If they're going into the store and it's a store that, it's the last few items, they're going to snatch that last item of food out of a woman's hand. And a woman's gonna have to beg for some food in that time, man. Because if a man that sees that he's stronger than a woman to take her food away from her, he's gonna take it. Because when women saw that they had the strength over men in certain situations to put them on child support or to bear false witness and lie, say he did this to them and that, said he did that to them, and they can get away with it, to commit adultery and kick a man out of house, right? They took advantage. So in the time to come, men are gonna take advantage over the advantages that they have over women. That's what's going to happen. Verse 19, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with a sword. Men ain't going to be sparing men. Neither are they going to be sparing women, man. And spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. So it's going to be a survival of the fittest type mindset out there, man. Among these wicked people. Among the elected of the nation of Israel, things will be different. There'll be order within that. But among these everyday people that don't believe in the Lord, they ain't gonna care about, that's a female or nothing like that. They ain't gonna be caring about spare people and all that. They ain't gonna be having mercy on no one. And even the elected of the nation of Israel, we ain't just gonna be accepting of any vile spirit, or, well, let me say it like this: they ain't gonna be accepting of any vile spirit just being around them and trying to come amongst them. They ain't gonna want certain types of people around them, man. And they're gonna understand that a lot of the humility that these people are showing now is fake. Because they wasn't humble when they was in a position of power. And that's how you can tell if someone's really humble. How did they act when they got power? Right? And how are these women been acting when they've had power, man? They've been running their mouth. They've been running their mouth off, man. Boasting about how they've been sacrificing their children. You understand? They've been boasting about how they've got the power to exterminate little innocent children in the womb. That's the kind of mindset that they've had. They haven't been humble. They've been evil and playing the victim, but then at the same time talking about how strong they are. Let me get this. I'm gonna jump straight to the point, man. Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 24, and it shall come to pass that instead of sweet smell, there shall be stink. So you women are going to be stinking out there, man. You Israelite women, this is for. And it shall come to pass that all women are going to be, but I'm focused on you Israelite women because you're the ones that's got the opportunity to repent. You Negro, Latino, and Native American women. You're the one that's got the ability to not be the women that are going to go through this. But if you're choosing to be stiff-necked and stiff-hearted, right, and you want to stay ratchet, and you want to stay trying to be the next Ice Spice, just twerking everywhere you go, posting your whole batty crease all up in the framework, right? Well, then this is going to be you. And it shall come to pass that instead of sweet smell, there shall be stink. And instead of a girdle, a rent. And instead of well-set hair, boldness, and your women's hair is going to be looking crazy as hell out there. And it already does in certain cases, man. Because your Howard already took your women's hair away. But then you've been given a little short-term temporary balm for that with weave and all these different things that you've been given, right? But it's gonna when it goes down, that weave's not even gonna work, and you're gonna be made to look like what you really look like. Before you press the filter button, you're gonna look like what you really look like, man. When you have just came out the shower and you see what your face looks like in the mirror before you put on the makeup, you're gonna look worse than that in the time to come, right? The way how you look when you come out the shower normally and you feel like you need to put makeup on to make yourself look better, that's gonna be the after. You're gonna wish that was the after. That state is gonna be better than what you're gonna look like in the time to come, man. You're gonna look crazy as hell out there because of your pride. And instead of a stomach at a garden of sackcloth and burning instead of beauty, so you're not gonna be looking beautiful out there, man. You're not gonna be able to try and use that as a tool to manipulate like how you can now, right? It's not gonna work anymore. Verse 25, thy men shall fall by the sword and thy might in the war. So all the men that you women, all the types of men that are exist in this world that have allowed you women to get away with this stuff are going to be taken away from the earth. They're going to be removed far from among the world, man. Verse 26, and her gate shall lament and mourn, and she being desolate shall sit upon the ground. So you're going to fall down. You're going to be distressed. You women are going to be hurt, man. You're going to be like, how is this happening? Why is this happening? You women are already saying they ain't no real men. Let's go back to a time when men were men. That's a real weird term. Let's go back to a time when men were men. But none of you women want to go back to a time where women were women though. Y'all never say that. All you women know what a real man is. But none of y'all have been able to figure out what a real woman is and read the Bible, Proverbs 20:31. All of y'all have got the expertise on what a real man is, and somehow a real man is always somebody that's just allowing women to get away with whatever wickedness they want to get away with and don't say anything about it, unless otherwise they'll be called insecure. But you women don't know anything about what a righteous woman does, though. You think that a righteous woman that's been with one man for her whole life and then going around giving attention to other men can't just be easily accessible to any random man that comes to her and talks to her on the street. If a random man comes to her and talks on her on the street, she'll stay straight away. I got a husband. Can you leave me alone? I don't want to disrespect my husband by talking to no men out here. leave me alone. You'll say that woman is a slave. You'll say, oh, that woman's stupid. You women will say that woman's stupid if her man gets another wife and she stays with him. But then you women will leave that man and get with another man yourself. And then you'll leave that man and get with another man. And you'll leave that one and get with another man. And then you'll be with one man and have another man and blame the man for why you did that. But you think that that's a more righteous way to live because you're degenerate. And that's why your gates are going to lament and mourn, man. And you're going to be desolate, sitting on the ground, all you women that are like that. Isaiah chapter 4 and verse 1, and in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man. And what they're going to be saying? Saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. And how are they going to be called by the man's name? They're going to become wives. They're going to want to become wives of these men. But them men are going to be going through some strict selection process, man. It's going to be a real selective process, man. The man's going to be scanning you. Like, man, this woman's got them talon claw, eagle clawed nails, man. She must have been a wicked woman in the world. Next. You're the weak. Nah, you ain't acceptable. Do one. I can do bad by myself. Or they're gonna be saying I can do good by myself. I don't need you to. If I bring you with me, that's one more mouth to feed. Do one. They're gonna be arrogant, man, in righteousness. They ain't gonna just be accepting any straggler daggler to be being around them, man. They ain't gonna be accepting of that. And you women ain't gonna be trying to say to these men, "Oh, you need to make 500,000 a year to even come chat to me." You better mind the men don't say that to you in that time. You better mind the men don't say that kind of stuff to you in that time, man. All this arrogance you women have been throwing out there. Thinking that this society was gonna just ever continue, man. But it's not gonna, though. And all the men that you women thought were crazy and lunatics, you're gonna find out that these men looked like that deliberately so that Yahweh could confound the world when he brought them out of the position that he put them in. Micah chapter 7 and verse 8. Rejoice not against me, all mine enemy. When I fall, I shall arise. When I sit in darkness, Yahweh shall be a light unto me. I will bear the indignation of Yahweh, because I have sinned against him, until he plead my cause and execute judgment for me. He will bring me forth to the light, and I will behold his righteousness. Then she that is mine enemy shall see it. So they're going to see the men being brought forth to the righteousness, man. They're going to start to see the Israelite man move up in stock in the world, man. They're going to start to see him gradually getting more and more respect. And the Edomite man who was their oppressor, they're going to start to slowly see him lose more and more respect. And they're going to try and initially, when the changeover is happening, they're going to try and be like, they're going to be trying to sneak this. All right, it's about time. It's about time, man. What was you waiting for? Some of them are even going to try and say, I always knew that you was a man of the Lord, Jamal. You know, they're going to try and roll up. I always knew you was the man of the Lord. Some of these women that used to be women of our apostles, our teachers, our elders, they're going to be trying to send them a text message leading up to the, I remember you spoke about this way back, yeah? Hope you're doing okay anyway, stranger. Nah, man, move, man. Let's remain strangers. Don't mess with me. Lose my number. That's what kind of mindset some of these men are going to be having out here for you wicked women that have been running your mouths, man, getting away with murder. Didn't want to know these men 10 years ago, 20 years ago, when they first was getting into the word. 20, 30 years ago, 5 years ago, 1 year ago, 6 months ago, 2 months ago, last week, today as I'm speaking. Didn't want to know the men when the word wasn't being glorified. But as soon as the word was getting glorified, now you're going to try and be talking about, I know someone personally that was telling me about this. Anyway, I'm gonna try and leave him a quick message. No, you're not. You ain't gonna leave him nothing. Get lost. That's the kind of mindset that's gonna be going out there, man. And it's gonna be given unto women that was humble and meek the first time they heard these things. Then she that is my enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover it said unto me. Because people might say, oh, he's just saying that himself. That's not real. Then she that is my enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her. It said unto me, where's Yahweh thy power? And that's how a lot of these women think, man. They think, where's this Lord that these guys are? They've been saying that. You men have been saying that Bible stuff. It ain't happened yet. Oh, well, when it happens, then I'll worship you. When it happens, then I'll bow down. Until that day, I'm going to keep doing my thing. All right. And when that day comes, we're going to keep doing our thing. In fact, we're going to do, if we're those men, we're going to do the Lord's thing, man. Mine eyes shall behold her. So the certainly these men are going to see these women, man. That did them dirt, man. They're going to see them with their own two eyes, man. Look that woman right into the soul. Now she shall be trodden down as the mire of the streets, right? So these women are going to perish in that time. Now, there's good news after these things, because all you women that are wicked as hell, guess what? You're still going to be in the kingdom. So there's some good news. There's light at the end of the tunnel, sweetheart. Yeah? There's light at the end of the tunnel. But first, you got to get served up, man. 2 Ezra chapter 9 and verse 9. Then they shall be in pitiful case, which now have abused my ways, and they that have casted them away despitefully shall dwell in torments. For such as in their life have received benefits and have not known me, and the women are the ones that receive benefits in this world the most, man. And I'm not even talking about no checks from the government or nothing like that. I'm talking about being given leeway in this world, man. Right? And they that have loathed my law. What's one of the main laws that these women hate? That a man can have multiple wives. They try and always say, oh, Solomon had multiple wives, and that's why he did this, that's why he did that. But King David had multiple wives, and he never did none of that. So what can I say about that then? And it wasn't because of the multiple wives that was the problem. It was because of what he did was the problem. That was the sin, not the multiple wives. While they yet had liberty, and when as yet place of repentance was open unto them, understood not, but despised it, right? The same must know it after death by pain. And that even includes you women, man. You're going to know and understand God's laws after death by pain. Just like how wicked men right now that have got a problem with laws in the Bible, they're going to know and understand it after death by pain as well. They're going to have to get gruesome pains done to them that are going to cause them to have their spirit removed from their body. Then they're going to be in the kingdom after getting reincarnated again, through whichever duration of time Yahweh wants to respawn them back again on the earth, man. And then they're going to have the kingdom and be under the new covenant and be living it up, man. The Israelite woman's going to be living it up in the kingdom. She's going to be able to be a socialite among the other women of Israel. She's going to have other women, which is what women desire. They like to have women jealous of them. They'll have a whole bunch of heathen women that are jealous of them. They're going to have heathen women that are jealous of their men, that wish that they had a man like that, but they're just going to have heathen men, unless their men, the Israelite man, decides to have them as a concubine. But they're going to know that the concubine don't get treated the same as the Israelite wife. So women are going to have that kind of thing to enjoy in the kingdom, right? But for all the women that are proud right now, they're going to have to go through a lot before they get to that. They're going to have to go through a lot, man. I'm going to end the video there, man. Women are starting to get judged in this world, man. And all those police cases that I just showed you prove that, man. That the light's starting to be shined on the wickedness of women as well as the wickedness of men. These women are starting to get a little taste of that equality that they was talking about, man. That they was begging for. All praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Rakar Kwadash, and Shalom to the elected nation of Israel. Shalom.